Welcome back. This is the Whisky Couch in Pretoria, South Africa. My name is GUSTAV MULLER, and in this video, the third whisky in this mini-series that I'm doing on no-age statement peated whiskies. And the third one is Talisker Dark Storm from the Talisker Distillery. So I have already reviewed the first whiskey, which was the Benriach Organic Special Edition, and also the Port Charlotte Scottish Barley Heavily Peated, and for today the Talisker Dark Storm. All three no-age statement, all three peated whiskies, and I'm doing this series, and in the next video when I do the summary I will reveal which one I prefer, which one is my number one out of the three when I do the summary. This whiskey from the Talisker Distillery, founded in 1830, owned by Diageo, one of the whiskey giants, and on the Scottish map, Scotland map, Lowlands, Highlands, the Speyside area, and way below Isla and Arran, Isla and Jura, and there is the Arran Island. So Talisker is on the Isle of Skye. There we go. Talisker, right there off the northwest coast of Scotland. That is where the Talisker Distillery is situated. A picturesque distillery. I've got a photo there just to give you an idea. And there is a bit of an aerial view of what the Talisker Distillery looks like. So this whiskey, I've poured my dram a little before I started the video. Let's see what it says. It was matured in charred oak casks. So what they did is they selected, and I think they recharred, extra charred oak casks to give it a deep, dark and rich. Talisker matured in selected heavily charred casks to give extra spice and smoke, bottled at 45.8% alcohol by volume. And this was originally, of course, a for the travel retail market, so it's a 1 liter bottle, but now it's a bit more widely available. A lot of information here on the back. It's a rich flavor dramatized by careful cask selection, matured in heavily charred oak casks, bottled at the premium strength of 45.8 alcohol by volume. Talisker Dark Storm faces you with all the wild, untamed spirit of a full-blown storm at sea. Now this sounds very interesting indeed, and we will see what the Talisker Dark Storm has for us. I'm quite a fan of the Talisker 10-year-old. I think that is an excellent whiskey. So there we go, a deep gold color. No information about chill filtration or whether coloring was added. Deep golden color. On the nose, a lovely soft, almost like smoked fish. I'm picking up smoked fish, barbecue fire, and sea spray. If I look at this photograph that I just showed you and I see the right on the ocean, I can imagine the sea spray going through those porous oak casks and influencing the whiskey while maturing. No age statement, of course, so we don't know how long it's been in the casks. There's a sweet malt aroma on the nose, plus sweet vanilla, plus brown sugar. I think that extra charring is giving you like a caramel brown sugar aroma. A little bit on the fresh side, which is an indication of the youthfulness of the whiskey, of course. And on the palate, wonderful. Sure, there's a gentle smokiness, there's an oakiness, like oak spice from those heavily charred oak casks. I'm getting charred oak. Rich. There's a richness to this whiskey. There's some sweet notes, some fruity notes, some honey even. As I'm sitting here, as the flavors reveal themselves, caramel, and now I'm getting a bit of a peppery note, and then that youthfulness that's coming through in this whiskey. A medium finish. It's not short, it hasn't like disappeared, it's not long, it's not lingering strongly, but it's just sort of there for a while. Yes. More caramel. Pleasant. It's quite smooth. It's warm. There's a nuttiness to the finish for me. There's a wonderful balance between the smokiness, the spice, oak spices, and the sweet notes. There's nothing that upsets in the experience of this whiskey. But let's see what a few drops of water will do to this 45% ABV. Just sort of a half a teaspoon, half to a full teaspoon of water. There we go. Bit of water added there. Deep golden color. And now the aromas are just softer and more gentle. More sweet notes for me personally after a few drops of water. Sweet, salty, spicy. More salty. More salty and spicy than sweet. That's what I'm getting on the palate after a few drops of water. So I think, what will be my summary? I will say my summary for Talisker Dark Storm: smoked caramel and pepper spice. That's what my summary will be, because there's quite a strong caramel, but the smokiness there, although soft, I mean not at the intensity of the Port Charlotte from Bruichladdich, but the pepper and spice is there. This is an impressive dram, and I must say this will give the Talisker 10 quite a bit of competition, but I do not think, for me personally, it is overtaking the 10-year-old, which is a classic and a preferred one in my books. The cost for this around R1,000 here in South Africa, £45, 50 euros, and around $60. If you want to pair this whiskey with a food snack, then I would recommend that you connect with the caramel notes. You can connect with the caramel notes. Maybe a dark chocolate, caramel chocolate will work well. Mussels cooked, because I'm thinking of the ocean and the sea salt. Mussels cooked in a Talisker whiskey sauce. That sounds like the perfect pairing. Also, what I tried with the Port Charlotte, I actually have a bit here. It would be the smoked salmon or smoked trout, either one of the two, pate on a cracker. But I'm going to start with this one. This is a oak smoked trout fish bite. A trout fish bite, smoked trout fish bite, and I've cut it in half so that I can manage a bite on camera. So I'm going to try this. But I think that wonderful oak smoked trout pate that I used with the Port Charlotte will be, because that was more on the sweet side. But let's try this. This is a wonderful snack. Smoky fish, a little bit salty. Oh man, it is just bringing that sea component, that sea character. What would the right word be? The oceanic character of this whiskey. It just brings it alive. But I also have the snack that I tried with the Port Charlotte, which was the oak smoked trout, or you can use salmon pate, and I'm going to try this as well to determine which one is best. Yo, and this one is actually a bit better by a tiny margin. But it's difficult to say. Both works very well. So either oak smoked trout or salmon pate on a cracker, or the oak smoked trout fish bite. Perfect pairing for this dram right here. Thank you very much for joining me on this wonderful adventure, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video when I'll be giving a